Hey, what's up, fellow YouTubers? Slick Nick here. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but a lot of things going on. But anyways, got a lot of stuff coming up soon. Like I've got to talk about Uber and Lyft's upfront pricing, but that's going to be a separate video. But I'm doing this stream because I'm here to alert drivers and also riders, but this is morely for drivers. This morning, before I got online, I received a text message from Uber. You know, sometimes you'll receive a text, to verify when you're logging into your account. And I've gotten those in the past. I'm sure a lot of you have. And then when someone's trying to get in that had no luck. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. But however, later on when I was on a trip this morning, I discovered that somebody hacked into my Uber account, my rider, my driver account, and they were sending messages through support to try to change my contact info, like my email, my phone number, and even I was playing a war with them too through the support, through the chat. I was chatting to the support to tell them that I was just hacked and I'm not requesting info, and then the hacker keeps sending that they're requesting to change the information, yada yada yada. And then after I finished my trip, then I went ahead and paused my trips, and then I attempted to change my email and my email and my phone number back, because I noticed in the account it was a different phone number and a different email address. So I went ahead and tried to change it, and then when they send you the verification code to your phone number or email, however you're doing it, and when you put it in, it was giving me an error message. It's like a bad request. So for example, like this, when you try to change the email, it says bad request. And anytime trying to use the phone number, gives you this server error. I don't know how these hackers could have done it, but unless Uber safeguards or whatever probably knew there was suspicious activity. But it wasn't until later when I got an email from Uber that they've noticed a suspicious login from a different device. And as soon as I got a chance to pull over, I went ahead and I took a look at my account, and I also called Uber support. And so what they were able to do is, I told them what happened. And also, before I forget, I must tell you, very important, whenever you see that somebody's hacked in your account, they're communicating with support, make sure you set screenshots. So make sure you take screenshots in your phone. And then also make sure that you also screenshot if they change the information on your account, like it shows a different phone number, a different email, screenshot those too. And I also reported these to the FBI as well. I gave that phone number and that email address the hacker used to the FBI, because that could help track up. Hopefully it would help the FBI try to find somebody that they're looking for. So back to Uber support, after about almost 20 minutes on the phone with them, they actually were able to restrict my account, so they can restrict your account for safety reasons. So this way our earnings will be safe. And then they are aware, and they've documented and they also seen the screenshots I tried sending them too. So when they look at the message threads, they can see my messages that I've been hacked. And so far my account is restricted right now, and they said they'll send me an email later to help update my password and all that. And I did all that, so that I still can't log in right now. So if that ever happens to you, make sure you make an appointment with your Uber hub, local Uber hub, as soon as possible. Like I got one coming up later this afternoon. So then we're going to go over and see where we're at so far. And if you ever notice anything suspicious in your account, if you're able to change your password, if you're not on a trip, change your password right away. This way to log everybody out. But unfortunately, I was not able to do that because I was already on a freaking trip. But I did call Uber support over the phone. They did everything they could on their side, and their security team is working on it, making sure all the unauthorized users are logged off their devices. And then I can get my information all back. But make sure you save screenshots when you catch anything suspicious, because the screenshots can be very handy as evidence. So I wanted to alert everybody, be very careful on your accounts, of course, and make sure you frequently change your passwords. If you see anything suspicious, when you can, immediately change your password. This happened to me recently on my Kroger account for shopping at Ralph's. Somebody hacked into my Ralph's account, and made an unauthorized purchase, unauthorized online order, which happened to be in Arkansas. Arkansas. So then I went ahead and had to wait the next day in the morning when the call center was open because the incident happened at night. But before I get further, I received a text message from Kroger, which warned me that I've unsubscribed or opted out from receiving text messages. I'm like, I did not opt out. And then when I signed into my account, I saw what happened. Somebody shopped an illegal order over $400. So I immediately contacted Kroger support first thing in the morning when their call center opened, which was at least a few hours before the pickup time for the order. And then they were able to successfully cancel the order, and then they refunded it. So I didn't get charged and then compromised. But I did change my password on my account. So anytime you have something suspicious or notice anything out of the ordinary, make sure you change your password. And that's what I'm doing with Uber as well. So I'm keeping fingers crossed. Oh, just got a text message from my pal Torsten, the rideshare professor. I've alerted him about this. So I'm helping to alert everybody, Uber drivers too. I even asked at the hub when I was making the appointment for later today. They also have mentioned that I'm not the only one. And I know there's drivers out there that have also had the same problem. So I'm advising them always be on top. Take screenshots if you see anything out of the ordinary. If you're able to, immediately change your password. And make sure, do everything you can to make sure that those, because usually if you change your password, then eventually the hackers will get logged out because I'll have to re-sign in again. It's like when I changed my password on my Kroger account, I ended up having to re-log in later on my phone, which was fine with me. I already know that. I changed my password. Some of these hackers just have nothing better to do. But also, if you can, if you see the phone, any phone number or email address that they may have changed it to, make sure you screenshot that too. And make sure you, before you give out information to Uber support, that you let them know what happened, and then you give them the fake information and then your real ones too. And so far, nothing else in my account has been changed. Like my bank info has not changed so far, thank goodness. But once I get back in the account, I will verify that to make sure that it's not a different account with the last 4 digits or last 2 digits or whatever. And yeah, Uber needs to really do more on security too. Like we should be able to have some kind of switch or something in our app. So if we discover an unauthorized login, we should be able to see where the device is so we can log them out. And if you're on an Uber trip, obviously Uber should know that there's something suspicious. When they see that you're on a trip and they see another device login, they should immediately deny access to that device and then let the driver know or send some kind of message to us. And so this way, after we finish the trip, sign us out and then let us know what's going on. They did a safeguard like that. This way, at least they can make sure that they got the right person and not the hacker. I mean, they already verify your, sometimes they do frequently ask you to take a picture of yourself to make sure it's you. And so shockingly, it never happened to the hackers. So unless the hackers have some way to impersonate, I don't know what they look like. I don't know where they are, but one of the phone numbers I did receive a phone number from area code 337 impersonating Uber support. If you ever have fall in this situation, if you ever get a text message saying, "This is Uber support or priority support auto response. Please reply with the updated email address to the text." Don't do it, because I just verified with the Uber hub that it would be the scammer or the hacker impersonating. So make sure you screenshot that phone number, and when you make a report to the FBI, you report that phone number as well. Yeah, I'm not going to even send any response, as much as I want to tell them to get a life or cuss them off. As tempting as it is, it's safe to just not do it, because who knows what they can do. But I'm going to block that number. Okay. The message from Uber. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to block that number. So now if they try to message me with that number again, it ain't going to go through. So this is just a word of warning to be very cautious on your accounts, because there are, especially if you're a gig worker, because there's people out there that'll try to do anything to take over your accounts. And even messages were going in through my rider account as well. So it wasn't just my driver account, my rider account was hacked as well. And what I'm also going to do is make sure you also check your statements or transactions with your financial institution, whether it's your bank card, credit card, whatever you have. Make sure you check that there's no transactions that are out of the ordinary. This way you can alert your bank and dispute them to fraud. I'm going to take a look at that as well. So that's another thing I recommend doing too. If there's anything else you recommend, just make sure to leave your comments below. And on the FBI's website, they do have access to the cybercrime. I filed this as a cybercrime because it was online. It was an online crime that I submitted, and told them everything. You know, I told them what happened. I told them that Uber Technologies is doing everything they can and that they are aware of this. Because we got to catch these guys. We get these, if you report to the FBI these email addresses and these phone numbers, this way, if they ever see these numbers again, they can probably dig down deeper to see where it came from. And if sure enough, if they find where it's coming from and they track down the culprits and they are able to check their devices and find the evidence, and those hackers' gooses are cooked. We want to bring these people to justice, and we'll make sure they never do shit like that again. Well, anyways, I got more videos stuff to work on. So I'm about to end the stream right here. I just want to make sure everybody's on alert. I put some hashtags in the description box. So make sure you get the word out. Be very aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your accounts. You see anything out of the ordinary. And also, if you receive a text message saying, oh, this is Uber support, we need to verify your password or anything, don't do it, nor email. And no, I did not do any of that stuff either, because usually that's called phishing. Phishing is a very serious crime, especially on cyber. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Keep your account safe. You see anything out of the ordinary, take screenshots, make changes if you can. If you're not able to go further with changes, make sure you notify the correct company, like Uber, for example, Lyft, whatever. Notify them immediately. Take screenshots, because that can help prove it. Make sure you send if you see messages coming up in the chat boxes from the hacker, make sure you join in too, because this way Uber, for example, can see the messages, the threads, and when they look back, they'll see that, yes, they'll see that what's suspicious and what's not. And then we discuss it with them. They'll see the threads and they'll know that somebody compromised the account. But once I'm back up and running, I'll probably keep it posted, but we'll see. Just pray to God. Gonna end it right here. Be safe out there. And all you hackers out there that are trying to compromise people's livelihoods, get a real job. Why don't you?